This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Fun 3-hour program on tap today. The return of the great Sal Palantonio on the program today for a half an hour. That comes up at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, 1 hour from right now. Mike Palm in studio in 90 minutes. He'll be following Sal Pal, Matt Human, some best bets in college football for week number 2 coming up back end of the show as well. Paulie, a lot to get into today on the show. How are you?
Good, my man. You all right? Feeling good? Day away?
Well, you have to be feeling pretty good now.
That's right, yeah. Right. Everyone's got the predictions ready. Game tomorrow. Contest going crazy. Tennis has been fun. Day baseball. 7 teams can sweep. Let's dance.
And the news today that I think sent Twitter and social media, other outlets, into a complete spiral. The Red Zone is not going to be commercial free.
I know.
Any longer.
Oh, boy.
So the last, how many every years with Scott Hansen, 7 hours of commercial free football starts right now. Bye.
Yep.
Bye. My guess is they're probably going to do it. They should do it like golf anyway. When they have the playthrough and you're watching like a big event and all of a sudden Rory's on 16, got to go to a commercial, and they'll have the commercials play with the audio, obviously, like on the right side, and they'll keep it up there. But I mean, are you serious with this? The first year commercials introduced into this thing that people have grown to love. Like, they're complete diehards, millions of them across the country who can't get enough of the Red Zone.
Yeah. You had a great point, though, last week about, hey, maybe it's not a bad thing that it moves over to ESPN. You could certainly upgrade this and do a better job.
Well, so far, that's not happening.
Yeah.
The addition of commercials doesn't make it any better.
I know.
No?
But I'll sit through a commercial or two, a la golf, as long as I go quad box on a regular basis.
That's right.
As opposed to just sticking on one game.
Right. Yeah, don't stay on just one the entire time. And they don't do that the entire time. But you know what I'm saying? They will pick one game, and it's like, my God, you're beating us over the head with this game again today. Let's knock it off. Let's just go and check out some other games, or give us a double box, the triple, or even the quad box. Like you said, we'll get into week 1 numbers coming up. We'll get into more of the Eagles and the Cowboys and some bold predictions today on the program as well. Baseball action that we have, a couple of games going on as we speak. One game starting here in 7 minutes. Baltimore playing in San Diego. Povich against Cortez. You can have the San Diego Padres.
Yep.
I should just be betting against them every single day. And here's the thing. The market is going the opposite way today. Money on Cortez. I saw almost touching $1.80 not that long ago at home, and they're just like in a tailspin right now.
Well, it could be. I think it's a lot of anti-Maury Povich, though, as well. Why Nasty Nestor's up to $1.90. They've lost 5 in a row. Speaking of the Orioles, when Povich starts, and he's 0-2 with an ERA of 8 and change. So can we get the bats going here? I mean, what's going on? Just when you're ready to buy in and think, okay, watch out for the Padres. They lose 2 out of 3 against Minnesota. Now they've dropped 2 in a row here against the Orioles. So
and such a manageable schedule in September.
Yes.
The Dodgers are basically begging them to take the division, and they don't want it.
Uh-huh.
So with Povich, he's actually 2 runs better with the ERA on the road than he is at home. And Cortez actually has not been god-awful since coming over to San Diego. 3 earned runs or fewer in 4 out of his 5 starts. And the earned runs, actually, he's allowed 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 runs in those games. And in 5 starts overall, he has an ERA of 3.75. Maybe a little bit misleading because the FIP is 5.2, about a run and a half higher than that. And, it is at Petco here, so be careful with the total. But 8.5, we could see some fireworks, I guess, between these two guys.
Okay. Are you a big, I know a lot of people play this to avoid the sweep. As I mentioned earlier, there were 7 potential sweeps today. Mm-hmm. One was just averted by Detroit as they beat the Mets. So no sweep there. And we'll see if the Padres can do the same thing. The Red Sox get the bad news that Anthony's out probably for the rest of the regular season. Out 4 to 6 weeks. Big win last night. Crochet couldn't hold a 5-run lead. Unbelievable.
Now, do you see the Cy Young odds as a result?
Yeah, big move.
Skubal skyrocketed now.
Yeah, but they won the game 11-7. But you're right, that's the appropriate move. And I would expect runs again. They are skipping Dustin May's start, who's been awful. The total is 9 in that game. I see runs coming up in Boston, and I see a team total again over with in Colorado with the Giants. Devers goes deep again. They've won 10 of 11. They've hit a home run in 16 games in a row. They're 55-18 against Colorado going back. Marquez has been terrible, not only this year, but career against San Francisco. 1-7 with an ERA of 8 going back against the Giants. This is nuts.
Right.
I mean, the pressure's off, and now they're hitting, and now they're winning.
Overall, Devers now the last 7 days, he's batting .464 with 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 12 runs scored. Not only him though, because Adames has also been scorching hot, batting .414 in the last week with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. And what do you think about a little bit of the run line here is so expensive anyway, like -140. Would you want to go alternate runs?
That's not bad.
2.5?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And probably getting some plus money at that price, but then they have to win by 3 runs more, obviously, under that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I looked for a price actually earlier today on the Giants to make the playoffs. They're 5 back. Because, again...
You weren't kidding about the schedule.
Oh, I bet them for most. That's the team that I bet first at 40-1 for most wins in September.
Yep.
It's so easy. But, again, they have 7 games against the Dodgers. That's it. But if they can somehow, if they could walk out of there 4-3, oh my God, or even better than that.
Yeah.
I could not find a price on them to make the playoffs. But there is an angle here. Their schedule is so easy, as it is for the Padres as well. But again, I don't trust this Padres team as far as you could throw them.
Well, that's also 7 of their next 10 coming up against Colorado. That's the other thing with the Friars. I don't mind. That was a bad performance last night by the Royals. And that kid was pretty good, although he only had 3 Ks.
No, don't remind me,
but he shut him down at least. The guy going from the Angels tonight, 18 starts in the minors, horrendous ERA of 6. So, got to have it game for Kansas City. I would think they could get some runs off this kid tonight, who's been bad, and they're plus money on the run line. That could be a way to attack it. And then Horton goes for the Cubbies, which the Cubbies take out bad teams. Good for them. He's got an ERA under 1 since the All-Star break, and the Cubs have been deadly against teams with a losing record. See if they can take out Elder, and they should be able to get to him tonight. And all your frustration with the Padres, I hear it. I got you. I raise you. Seattle Mariners.
I know. Again, I was just going to go there. Houston, that's another team. They're begging Seattle to win the division.
That's right.
And the Mariners are acting as if they're allergic to it.
What's the problem on the road? They've lost 13 of the last 16 road games.
Are we starting to see a bunch of fatigue for this team? That's now back-to-back starts for Wu after that amazing stretch this year. Every game going at least 6 full innings.
Yeah.
Now the last 2, not happening.
Right. And then he didn't have it, but then they come back and they have the bases loaded with nobody out and only get 1 in and lose 6-5.
That happened with Arise last night with the Padres. Guy never strikes out, bases loaded, huge spot for him. What happens? Of course he Ks. Why would he not? I think they're mirror images of each other, the Padres and the Mariners. Now, Kirby's going tonight. If you go back to August 1st, 3.52 with the ERA, FIP's even better than that. Doesn't allow a lot of home runs and striking out about 8.5 per 9. But again, you want to be able to say that guys like, Castillo, I can't really trust him. He went in this first game of the series. Wu has been as reliable as anybody in baseball for the most part this year.
Yeah.
No good last night. I want to tell you that Kirby is reliable, but I don't know. They should get to Hauser, but I could say that they should have gotten to Baz the other night, and they never did that.
Yeah, right. Hauser was good before the trade. He's been bad since the trade. So we'll see if finally Seattle can get a big win here, and can Houston actually beat the Yankees?
The
Yankees,
answer is no.
No? They've won 8 in a row in Houston. Blow them out last night.
I think it's a cheap price here tonight.
Yeah.
Warren's been good, like full year. Going back, numbers may be a little bit misleading since August, but 2.84 with the ERA, FIP about 2 runs higher than that. Alexander, kind of the same thing, ERA at 2.17, but the fielding independent is 3.96. And, Paul, you look at this lineup now, Judge has been hot. Chisholm and Grisham, killing it right now.
Yes.
So it's tough for any starting pitcher to navigate their way a couple of times through this lineup because the Yankees, all their batters basically, or a lot of them, are mashing at the same exact time together.
Well, I'm a big chemistry guy too, and certainly what happened last night was bizarre. I've never seen it before, but the Valdez thing, that looked intentional to me.
Yeah.
And now he's the agent said misguided to think that he meant to plunk his teammate and what happened, but it's just that doesn't look good. What happened?
Yep. I'll give you another one to watch tonight as Philadelphia takes on Milwaukee.
Oh, this should be runs.
This is Nola against Quintana. You're spot on. Tip of the cap to Mike Palm, who's on later on today. One of the best observations I've ever heard about a pitcher is like when the Phillies get Nola 1 or 2 runs, he allows nothing. But when they give him like 4 or 5 runs, he absolutely is a gas can. I think the Brewers, well, here's the thing. I think the Phillies will get to Quintana. His numbers are not great over the last month or so. The FIP is almost 5, ERA a little bit higher than 4. And Nola has been way worse than that. I just think both teams, the lineups here, after a day off yesterday, probably much needed, but that's a good thing for the bullpens. Maybe a first 5 over here in the Phillies and Brewers game is the way to approach it. I don't trust either one of these pitchers.
I like it. You got a tennis opinion?
No, because I'm just bitter. I missed the number on Pagula earlier this week, so now I'm not betting anything.
Can you believe after Fritz lost last night that American male have not won a major since 2003? Andy Roddick? Are you kidding?
But you mean at the U.S. Open?
No, it's at a major period.
An American male has not won in more than 20 years?
2003. Roddick did it at the U.S. Open, I believe, or French, whatever it was. Yeah.
He's the last guy?
How about that drought?
Wow.
Can you believe that? It's embarrassing. We suck at tennis.
Wow, no kidding. Up next, some college football. I'm not the only one who thinks Kalen DeBoer can start packing his bags at Alabama if the season goes sideways.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Pauly, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Coming up on the next Money Moves, week 1 of the NFL has officially arrived. We're previewing Cowboys-Eagles on opening night. We'll also have RotoWire's Jeff Erickson on to break down all the prop betting angles ahead of opening weekend. And from our new Fade Us Sports podcast, professional poker player Brandon Cantu joins Money Moves to get his thoughts on week 1 and beyond. It's all happening starting at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. We're live in downtown Las Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is a spot. Some college football here. Some observations to look at. Great write-ups, as always, at VSiN.com. And I'm messing around yesterday here in the sportsbook, signing up for some Survivor contests. And then Robbie, who is in from Medford, Oregon, who listens to the show every day, he's helping out with one of the proxy services here in town. He said, Mitch, how about this for a Week 2 college football game? He said, when's the last time maybe a Big 12 school or a school from a Power 4 or 5 conference went on the road early in the season to play at a MAC team? That's what we have this week with West Virginia at Ohio. And West Virginia opened, they were sitting there at 3. So think about that for a second. Here you have, and they were great against Robert Morris last week. But Ohio, you had Rutgers. Ohio gave Rutgers everything that they could handle.
Rutgers couldn't stop them.
No.
Yep.
So it opened up 3 that I saw. Now 3.5 the way it looks. Isn't it almost like a fishy number? Here you have West Virginia coming in from the Big 12 on the road against a MAC team, and they're laying 3? Doesn't it make you want to take the home team here?
Yeah, I see points in that one as well. Because I did, Ohio was great on offense, but also Rutgers had 31 points with 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
Right.
And then they slowed down. So also had to settle for a field goal twice inside the 5-yard line. It is great that they're doing this, and maybe going back. Were they humming? It was the LeGarrette Blunt punch game. But I think Oregon going to Boise at the time was kind of strange, and I give them props for doing that.
Yeah, and how long ago was that, do you think?
Scott Frost was on the Oregon staff, and that was, I can't remember who Boise's quarterback was, but that was Masoli, I think, for Oregon.
My God, that might have been like circa 2010.
That was Chip Kelly's first game, I think. Remember, because a fan complained about their performance, and Chip Kelly sent him a check and reimbursed them for tickets and travel.
Right. That's right. But Boise was really, really good at that time. And they had been good for, at least a handful of years.
I can't remember if they were top 15 at that point, but in any event, that was still a good job, and that was kind of like, wow, good job by Oregon going to Boise. But I'm with you on that one, but I see points in that West Virginia game. And how do you play an over with a 41.5 in an Iowa game? Mm-hmm. And with the Cy-Hawk Classic, the road teams won 10 of the last 12. A lot of people think Iowa State's a bit overrated after what they watched, and some people felt Kansas State should have beat them.
Yeah, but that was also a great performance last week.
Right. Iowa State laying 3 against Iowa. So 41.5 there.
We were supposed to get like this brand new Iowa offense this year, right? New quarterback comes in, hot shot transfer.
Right. I know.
They were terrible last week.
I know. But going back, some of these scores, 10-7, 18-17, 13-3. You did have the 44-41 overtime classic. One blowout in 2016, but these are usually close, tight, and low scoring.
Well, this could be like 17-16 all day long.
I see that too, yes.
Yeah. Are you surprised by money on Baylor against SMU?
Yeah, a little bit, because how bad they were defensively, which SMU can score. But certainly the offense wasn't the problem. They look great. Can SMU slow them down? But that's a little surprising to me. But this team's been disrespected since last season. No one's been giving SMU their flowers. That was not pretty from Baylor's side defensively. Oh, it was ugly. And Aranda obviously is thought of as one of the better defensive minds in the country. Which he can't be. And after that, these performances and what happened last year. I remember 2 years ago, Brad Powers said, I'm done with this guy. It's like, how many times is Jackson Arnold going to take off and kill you on the ground? I was surprised with the North Carolina money. 13.5 now against Charlotte. I see they're expecting a bounce back like that. Charlotte was so stinking bad last week. Consider the competition, and there is an angle again where TCU here is just really, really good. Yeah, or like Paul Stone mentioned, maybe Belichick was playing the wrong quarterback. Could have been. I think he probably was actually. I think you're right. How much money did that kid get paid? We got a text from Stewart, a Carolina guy who says, Carolina fan that says they gave him 2 years, $4 million. Lopez. Now that would be the biggest waste of money that I could ever imagine. That's a gun and a ski mask. Absolutely. With that one, if that happens. Enjoy the money, buddy. Yeah, right. Good for you. I'm not rooting against the players, obviously, but that's a way of an overpay if that's the actual case. So I said Monday on the show, I don't want to overreact, but Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer can start packing his bags. Some guys are not cut out for the biggest programs or the biggest jobs like in that sport.
To me, this guy was clearly a guy who could thrive in a spot like Washington for his entire career. But to follow Nick Saban, again, when the NIL and the transfer portal was really starting to take over in college football, it's not going to, I don't think it's going to. In fact, I told you yesterday, I want to bet that Belichick's going to be at North Carolina longer than DeBoer is going to be at Alabama. Not the only guy. This is part of the On 3 podcast with Ari Wasserman and Andy Staples, and Andy basically said exactly what I've been saying this week.
And he's very clearly trying to hit the note of this year isn't last year, because he recognizes that loss looked like 3 of last year's losses. And if you have 3 more losses like that this year, he's going to be fired. I don't care how big the buyout is. Like, it's Alabama. You can't go 8-4.
He's going to be fired. Wow. Period.
That is strong.
I would say so.
And remember, the last time they weren't in the AP top 20, W was the president, and Williams was 1 year old. So they should win their next 2 games, but then it's at Georgia, at Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Iron Bowl. Hello.
I know.
Yeah, but it's,
Paul, that is suddenly littered with a bunch of losses, possible losses there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a team that, if you go back to like last Friday, people were like, yep, they're absolutely a playoff team. They might win the SEC. And a lot of people were picking them to win the national title.
Right. So you just say, well, what's $70 million? It's just a whole different ball game and a whole different world there. They will poison the trees, right? We know what that guy was a cop with that Alabama fan. What happened?
No, that was Auburn.
No,
Harvey Updike?
Harvey Updike, yeah. He was an Alabama fan.
Oh, okay, yeah. He went to Auburn and poisoned. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
You're right. And then also when Shula was the coach, they would ask him for his autograph when he was at church in the communion line.
Yeah.
So they're a different breed down there. So absolutely, 4 losses is unacceptable. And does it look like it did last year? In week 1, he's exactly right. It did. Soft, weak, issues about quitting, talking about character, effort. Week 1, come on. And they just line up and run the ball, and that team was 2-10 last year.
Yeah, so it is completely flipped again for them to make the playoffs. They were a heavy favorite before the loss, and now they're almost 2-1 to make it. I can't get there.
I thought he would do well because of his record at other places and how good he was at Washington, and also beating Lanning and doing it all the time as an underdog. And this is...
Well, I'll give you another one, too.
I'm shocked by this.
It's only 1 game, so I don't want to get too crazy with this, but he did bring back Ryan Grubb, the OC, who was so good in Washington with Michael Penix.
Yeah, right.
What if Ty Simpson stinks?
True. Not bad.
What if he's not a good quarterback?
Right. Yeah, I know.
That's a possibility.
What if you can't fix the defense? What if this who you are? And what if the quarterback's below average?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
everybody used to assume that he's going to come in and be like, okay, now the offense is going to take off again this year. Didn't look so hot over the weekend. Let me give you one from VSiN.com, Steve Mack and his numbers and his stability score that he has. And he does a great job explaining this on the website. Did not go so hot in week 1. It was 5-7, I believe, ATS. But over the years, this has been a pretty good moneymaker. And I bet against Jacksonville State against Central Florida. I'm going to do it again this week. Part of the reason why is that based on his stability score, when you weigh each category, Liberty wins like 13 key categories against this team. And he said anything above an 8 is worth a bet. And don't forget that JSU lost Rich Rodriguez, brand new scheme, lost a ton of players. And Central Florida, they were laying almost 3 touchdowns in that game.
Should have lost.
They should have, but they're also different than they were last year as well. Liberty has 14 starters back from last season. Third-year coach Jamie Chadwell at the helm. They are recognized, as he wrote, in Conference USA as the favorites and should be focused step 1 of that goal with the win as the road favorite here in this spot. They have a lot of guys back, including the coach. It's been the exact opposite for Jacksonville State. He bet 6. That number's on the move. I bet Liberty here. I'm going against Jacksonville State for the second consecutive week. I laid 6.5. Liberty has been some people were making the case first of all, to go undefeated in the regular season, and then maybe to bet them I'm not going to bet them to make the playoffs because I don't think the committee would put a team like Liberty in. But they are the favorites in that conference, and I think that they're just much better than this Jacksonville State team. That was worth a bet to me.
Okay. They burned a lot of people last year, but good luck to you. NFL Betting Guide updated, ready for Week 1 inside the NFL Betting Guide 2.0. Post-preseason team updates, proven betting systems, contest strategies, and best bets from an opening week and beyond. Get access to this in the College Football Betting Guide as little as $9.99 for your first 30 days. VSiN.com/subscribe. See which subscription works best for you. Website's on fire. Awesome with everything up there and all the numbers and guides and betting systems and every sport as well. $9.99. Join the team. VSiN.com/subscribe.
The audience doing a great job of digging up the last time that a power team played at somewhere like Ohio or a MAC team. Here you go. 2023, not that long ago. Iowa State lost 10-7 at Ohio. I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember that game. I don't remember Iowa State playing there. Curtis Work was the quarterback for the Bobcats. Good job by Tripp. Up next, player props for the Cowboys-Eagles game and Week 2 numbers in the NFL.
There's no better time to join VSiN Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL betting guide as well as the college football betting guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So, Paulie, we were asking yesterday when the money is going to show on Dallas, if it does at all. Like, does this number actually get to 10? Yesterday, when we were live on the show, the Eagles were laying 9 here at Circa. And I guess that was the breaking point for the market because they said, okay, I need to take that number. I like what Matt Humans was saying on his show following us. Like, if you're going to go to, like, what's the point of having it at 8.5? Go to 9 for teaser protection then. For people who are still going to be betting teasers all the way down to, like, lane 2. You don't want to do that when it's 9 to lay it, right? And it's not a key number right there. 9's not a key number at all. So, but it got to 9, a little bit of buyback here now. So the number is 8. Have you done anything with this game yet? Are you pondering the Eagles on a Survivor ticket?
Yeah, it depends what Survivor you're in, where it's at, and how many people and what you're in, because the Eagles are so valuable playing on Black Friday and then on Christmas. I laid the 6.5 when the Parsons nonsense was going on with Jarrah, with Michael Irvin. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. How is Dak $1.10 to throw for 250 yards? They can't run the ball, right? Schottenheimer's going to be stubborn and try to establish the run, but it's not going to go well tomorrow.
And do you like him more or do you like CeeDee Lamb? It's 71.5. Last year in 8 games that Dak played, the healthy games that he played, CeeDee Lamb averaged 82.5 yards. And I heard John Hansen earlier this week on Prop Points here on VSiN. He said that their projections have him going like over 80 yards in the game. 71 is, I'm all about CeeDee Lamb this year.
Well, I'm also all about the blowout in this game. And if Philly's up big, you're looking at Dak throwing, which that could be the case from the get-go, and they're forced to throw because they're down numerous scores. And then you get the blowout factor again with Shipley anytime touchdown and some odd characters and some big tickets cash with anytime touchdowns in this game. So I don't expect Dallas to be able to stop Philly. And the champs have always done a nice job in this spot, opening the season at home and winning the game. And I think they can get whatever they want offensively against a offensive Dallas defense. And a coach I don't like or trust in Schottenheimer as well that'll probably see growing pains from the get-go.
Now, Jaden Blue, the running back here for the Cowboys, comes in from Texas, and he is not listed. He's not going to be the starter. That's going to be Williams coming in from Denver, and also Miles Sanders on the roster as well here for the Cowboys. Miles Sanders is plus 850 for an anytime touchdown. I like the possibility of the blowout angle with Jaden Blue to get some time maybe a little bit late. He's plus 750 to score 1 touchdown.
All right.
I don't think that's an awful number at all.
All right. I'm strong.
I actually think by the end of the year, Jaden Blue, there's an angle here, not even by the end of the year, way before that, where Jaden Blue could be the starter without question for the Cowboys in the backfield. And I loved Javonte Williams when he came out of college. And I loved him early on with Denver. But he's just, those injuries, they mount up, man. And he's not the same guy that he once was. So Blue at plus 750, intriguing. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I did bet CeeDee Lamb over 71.5 yards.
Okay. They popped the Kansas City Charger total today. It's up to 46.5 now in the Brazil game. So.
Intel on the field?
I don't know. Could be that, or just they think the Chargers are going to be awful defensively. And Bill Barnwell was making the case for that as well in his column today. So that's where we're at with that game coming up on Friday.
All right. How about week 2 look-ahead numbers here?
Monday night doubleheader already.
Yeah.
How about that? 9-11, Thursday night, the first Amazon game. Packers at home to Washington, Green Bay 3. I think it's short. All the Packer love. Barnwell picked a Kansas City Green Bay Super Bowl. And we'll see how that defense looks and if Love is right and they can slow down Washington. A lot of people calling for Washington to take a step back this year. Total is 48.5. Some big point spreads. Let's go to Sunday. Bills 8.5 on the road against the Jets.
No thank you on Survivor. Not going to use a road division team.
Okay. Ravens 12.5 at home to Cleveland. Hello.
They will be very popular.
That's right.
Although the week 2 nightmares are going to be popping up this week for people who had them last year against the Raiders.
Lions 4.5 against Chicago. Bears off the Monday night game with travel, although not big travel.
That's in Detroit?
It's in Detroit.
They're laying 4.5? That seems a little short to me.
Okay. Niners 7 at New Orleans.
Hello, Survivor.
Yeah?
Are people going to do the back-to-back and say, Arizona on the road against the Saints? Check, please.
If it's a blowout.
Move on to week 2. San Francisco. I'll fade the Saints both times.
Okay. Could be in play. Cowboys only 3 against the Giants at home.
I would not lay 3.
No.
No way.
Cincinnati, 5.5 at home to Jacksonville. 49.5 the total.
God, man, don't you need to see something for both these teams this week first before you make a bet on that game? Although Mike Somich has a great write-up today at VSiN.com. He points out that the total, even though it's kind of high at 49.5, he asked the question, is it high enough? Probably not. Bengals at Browns this week, total, 47.5? Panthers at Jags this week, 46.5? He's like, with these defenses and the two offenses that we're going to be looking at this year, this total is barely above those two?
I got a couple totals for you right now. How about Rams 5.5 at Tennessee, but the total 45.5? Let's see how Stafford looks. Maybe he gets punished by Houston's ferocious front line and defense D-line, and they get after him. 45.5, I don't think that goes well for Ward.
That's also another game that a lot of people anticipating things to go sideways for Ward this week against Denver. Rookie quarterbacks making their first start ever on the road. It does not go well.
No, horrible.
Right, historically, it tells you that it's not a winning proposition for that quarterback nor the team. So if the Broncos take them out in a body bag this week and Stafford looks good and stays clean, maybe the Rams are going to be a survivor pick next week. Also, they're 5.5 at Tennessee. Are the Rams that much better than Denver? Denver's laying 8. So the Rams on a neutral would be, let's say, home field here for Tennessee's worth 1.5. They'd be at least 7. So if you go and play in LA, they're going to be 8.5, 9. I don't know, maybe 10.
Got that, yeah.
That seems a little
okay. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Here's another one, 41.5. Pittsburgh and Seattle. Pittsburgh's 2.5 at home. Let's see how Rodgers looks against the Jets, but I would think Pittsburgh's defense is going to give Darnold some problems.
A lot of talk this week specifically about people predicting, like bold predictions.
Right.
Seattle's defense might be the best in football this year.
Come on.
That's what I've read.
All right.
People, again, bold predictions, so.
And looking for a Milroe anytime touchdown prop. They're supposed to have a package for him. Looking for that. That'd be nice. Dolphins 2.5 at home to the Patriots. 45.5 the total. Big game for Miami. You got to beat the Colts.
Where does that number go if they do that? That's indoors, by the way, so they have nothing but speed on that Miami offense. What if they look awesome on offense and Tua stays upright, and then when he's healthy, he's good, and so is the offense? And what if the Raiders beat the Patriots?
Yeah, okay.
Those are two feasible results, in my opinion.
And the Heat. That's right.
Then that number for the Dolphins goes, it's going to be higher than 3 under that situation.
Patriots never play well there, and it's going to be hot and humid. Broncos 3.5 at Indy. Arizona, this could be short. Arizona 4.5 at home to Carolina. See if Carolina can slow down Jacksonville. Kansas rematch. Chiefs 1.5 at home to the Eagles. Ooh, right out of the gates. That's awesome. Vikings 4.5 at home to Atlanta. And a Monday night doubleheader. Both games, they're not head-to-head. There's a 4 o'clock and a 7 o'clock. Houston's 1.5 at home to Tampa, and the Chargers are 3 out here against the Raiders.
It's a pretty good doubleheader.
Strong. I think there's 5 of them this year.
Houston-Tampa is a really good early Monday night game.
That is.
Well, I think the...
that's tough.
I cannot wait, maybe more than any other game, and I hinted at this yesterday, I can't wait to see what that Rams-Texans game is going to look like. Right? With Stafford's injury. He's not the only guy, by the way. Offensive line. But a lot of... Look, I mean, again, I loved this Rams team before the Stafford back popped up the entire offseason. But Houston actually might have the best... This is not a bold prediction. They might be the best defense in football. And that defensive front... And Hunter is elite, as is Will Anderson, on his way to being elite anyway, if he's not. And the idea of like those two guys and the rest of that front seven getting pressure on Stafford. But also, I can't wait to see what all those young guys are going to look like on the Rams defensive front as well, because the Texans might have the worst O-line in the entire sport. And then Devontae coming over to the Rams first year with him. So Devontae, who looked awesome last year down the stretch for the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, playing alongside Puka. So I want to see what that's going to look like in that offense.
Our exclusive betting splits cut through the noise, pulling real-time data straight from Circa and DraftKings. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport so you can make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today. Just $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. I mentioned this while you were out, but JT the Brick told me that everything is different. Everything is top-notch operation with the Raiders. And it looks and feels like a professional outfit, unlike the last couple years. So we'll see if that looks like it on the field with the results.
All right. Win some, lose some is up next, and I'll point out a horrible scheduling spot tonight that could be worth a bet. Find out what we're talking about coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
The match last night was hoping Fritz could have extended it. Bet it too early. There was a 39.5 and a 40 out there for the games.
It landed 40, did it not?
Yep. I got 41. Bet it early. Joker, because Joker money wouldn't stop. 170 up to 210. His 53rd major semifinal appearance. He's 11-0 against Fritz. As I said earlier, the streak continues. Andy Roddick, the last American man to win a major in 2003, the U.S. Open. Mercy. Golden State plus 210. Easy winner against Liberty. And the under 158.5 to 155. Pirates plus 155. Angels plus 150. Giants suddenly have won 10 of 11. Every team to score. Yes, plus 340. There you go. Finally a day without a shutout.
Did you bet it?
I forgot. I had it written down and everything. I know. Forgot. Highest scoring game, Blue Jays and Reds. 10-1. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Thanks to the people who sent this in. Dad versus mom holding the dog's leash. There you got the dad. Close by. Careful. Uh-oh. Now mom's got it, and he's ready to roll. Let me go. Come on. Unleash hell. Different type of animal when you're looking at who's holding the leash. Ever happen to you? Is one more aggressive, or then it depends on who's walking them?
100%.
Oh, okay, good.
And when we're just playing with them as well, the same thing's going on with Sebastian, by the way. 16 months old now. Crazy. Like when he's been with one of us for too long, let's say it's been like an hour, and the other person gets home or they whatever.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, he just goes absolutely ballistic for the other person and wants nothing to do with the other one. Fascinating.
Interesting. Excellent. How about this? Love dogs and the toys? Look at this. At Doggy Daycare, they have all the toys set up in the pool. Come on in, everybody. Cannonball. Come on in. They love it. They all run in, jump right in, grab their favorite toy, go swimming. That's a top-notch. That might be the same Doggy Daycare then, with that video where, hey, I'm picking my sister up from Doggy Daycare, and everyone loves her in the look, and every dog is up against the fence with their nose saying, wait, don't leave.
Right.
Please, don't leave us.
I would like to have a dog one day that does this.
Uh-huh.
Never had a dog that likes the water.
Yeah.
But I want one that's like, come on, man, let me outside. I'm going to hop in the pool, the lake, whatever. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. They all jumped in there and grabbed their favorite toy. That is awesome. Before the line moves, Sharp Play's already there. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the Sharp Plays, you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources, Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights sent straight to your inbox or X-feed. Jeff and the crew have been at it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com, trusted by pros. Watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com and stay ahead of the line.
All right, this is a good email from Eric. The email for the show is ftm@vsin.com. And he looked at the schedule in every single sport. Sent over a couple of baseball games coming up. And there's one tonight in the WNBA to consider, Paulie. I'll ask you about maybe possible injuries here tonight, right? But as the Sparks are playing on the road against the Atlanta Dream, Atlanta's favored by 7. In the first half, they're about 3.5 or 4. Now, here's the deal. If you go back, the Sparks played at the end of August in the 26th and on the 29th at home. August 31st, they hosted Washington, 5 p.m. tip-off. After that game, had to hop on a plane, 2.5-hour flight to Seattle. September 1st at Seattle. That's the game they came all the way back to win, right?
That was,
when they were getting buried.
They were down 14 at the half.
After this game, Sparks on about a 4-hour, 30-minute red-eye to Atlanta, or whenever they got to Atlanta. They play then tonight. So that was the travel day either yesterday or on the red-eye after the game. The Dream played at home on the 27th and 29th of August. They then had a 10 a.m. game against a really bad Connecticut Sun team on Labor Day. Now they're waiting here for the Sparks tonight. So the Sparks, 3 games in 4 days, the final 2, a flight of about 2.5 hours, and then about a 5-hour flight across 3 different time zones against a very well-rested Atlanta Dream team.
Well, that was why it was so odd Sunday that it's a back-to-back, but you're getting buried and you come all the way back and beat Seattle in a game they had to have.
And think about what they put into that second half then.
That's right. So I would say Atlanta first half, but the other thing is check what Atlanta does with their lineups because they are in the playoffs and they have the same record as the Aces, also as Phoenix. All those teams are 26-14. How big is the 2 or the 3 seed to them in home court? That's a question for the Atlanta organization. I don't know an answer to that, but maybe some girls sit tonight and some ladies don't play, or they watch the minutes as there's only a week left in the season and a few games. But I know this, LA needs it in the worst way. And they got helped out by Indiana losing again, the big win against Seattle. And they're right there as Seattle, the Fever, and the Sparks all have 20 losses with a couple games left. And the other thing you know what to do is bet Rickea Jackson over points.
Well, she's probable for the game.
Yeah, she was great. Awesome in the last game. And again, what she could do if she got enough touches.
So Tyler Shoemaker here at VSiN also has a write-up on this game. Points out that Alicia Gray is questionable for Atlanta. Definitely need to know about the lineups here for sure. But he's going to go with a bet on the total. And he points out that LA has gone over the total in 13 of 19 road games this year. He likes it over 170 or better. So,
yeah,
that's his approach tonight. I took a little -7 with Atlanta. I might do a little first quarter, first half there as well.
I'm with you. Yep, okay. And 6-0 Orioles in the third. Nestor's allowed 5 home runs.
You're kidding me.
Boy, oh boy.
It was just 1-0 during the commercial break.
Yes. He's allowed, 4 home runs. Cowser, Mayo, and Jackson have all gone deep in the third inning. It's 6-0 Orioles.
So Holiday now has 2 in the game. How do we not just bet against this team? We talked about it to begin the show. Started at 1:10 Pacific time. I don't want anything to do with them. Why don't we just bet against them every single day? Huge plus price on Baltimore again. They have to trot out Nasty Nestor again. You know, the guy's been okay since they started him, and this is his 6th start now in San Diego. But yikes, man. That's that's going to have to be a guy you're going to have to rely on down the stretch in September here. And then, so what's going to be the deal come playoff time? Do you go to him in long relief?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's tough. But that's like a lot of teams about who do you trust and how many guys you're going to throw and what your rotation looks like come October.
Right.
Sal Pal coming on. He's back. Can't wait. 2 segments. Preview the Thursday night game and his season predictions and Super Bowl predictions as well. We'll get to our bold predictions coming up. For the first time, I gave a pause and maybe pumped the brakes on the Texans. What if Stroud isn't that good? What if Jacksonville improves and is dangerous on offense like you think and others think? Paul Charchian as well. 5-6 outside the division last year. 0 point differential, even with the point differential. 5-11 in division games saved them.
5-1 in division games?
5-1 in division games. Yep, that saved them. And
don't forget, they were the better team than Kansas City, in my opinion, in that playoff game.
That's true. And they were awesome against the Chargers, and they deserved a better fate against Kansas City, but they were so bad in the regular season at times. Mm-hmm. They just, won a bad division and went 5-1 in division play.
I think there's definitely an angle there for Jacksonville to win the division.
Yep.
I also think there's an angle there where Tennessee is not the last place team, because I'm not high on this Colts team at all. I can't get there. If you can, I know a lot of people are expecting the defense to be like legit this year, much better and actually quite good and reliable. It's tough for me to go against Jonathan Taylor when he's in the backfield because I love him. He's such a good running back. Mm-hmm. But it's Danny Dimes at quarterback. And I'll give you another one. You said, what if C.J. Stroud isn't that good?
Yes.
What if Shane Steichen's not a good head coach?
Yeah, right.
Our buddy JVT, who is a lifelong Colts fan, thinks that that's possible. He was completely against him last year with his decision-making at quarterback, with what he was doing. He also thinks that Richardson should be the starting quarterback this year. But
Not only 5-1 inside the division, 4 of those 5 wins were by 4 or fewer points. Play here, a play there. May not even been a playoff team. It's interesting.